thank you for clicking. Now, this is an electronic tabletop called Pack and Maze by Actronics, and I'm not going to show you it running later at all.
What's new in retro games? Can you tell me what's new in retro games, please? What's new in retro games? Can you tell me what's new in retro games this week?
Hello! Yes, hello! It is me, it is Jace at Retrogames! Yeah, you know it, boys! Hello, welcome to the show. It's another week of retro gaming fun, checking my cameras. How are you? How's your week been? I can't believe it's Friday already. Where does the time go? Answers on a postcard. Does anybody send postcards anymore? I've dropped my post-its. Hang on. Anyway, it's been a good week. It's been a good week in retro games, and let's talk about that. But first, what about this?
Tell me the retro games news.
Yeah, retro games news, and there is this week. There's kind of retro games news. I've got my post-it notes. Yeah, I can't even have a sheet of paper anymore. I have just got to have some post-it notes. Firstly, did anybody catch the BJ and the Bear show? Yes, a new show. Didn't go out on our channel, but it did star me. Check this.
From 8-bit games to console wars, counting frames and keeping scores. Yes, they're old, but they don't care. It's BJ and the
Yes, it was me and my good friend Russ, the Bear, Retro Bear, trying out our own little show. I'm going to there's a link down below, you can watch it. I've got to say, I found it enjoyable to watch it back. I like listening to myself. Yeah, well, I can't help it. I do think I needed a better mic, Russ with his special mic that comes around his face and it's catching his voice is great. He said that it sounded okay from my end, but I don't think it did. It's not sharp enough. Could have been tidied up in the edit. It could have been tidied up in the edit, Russ, but it wasn't. If we carry on with this show, I shall be editing some too. So yeah, maybe we'll sort that. Maybe I'll get myself a microphone and some strap on. So I'll get myself a strap on. What do you think? Stop it, Jace! Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that show. Check this.
I went to ZX and I bought a game. Xbox 360. I didn't like it, but I played it all the same. On my TV, I streamed a video pretending that it wasn't that bad. Now I'm famous.
Yeah, it was a fun show last week, wasn't it? A fun show. Yeah, this week in the UK, of course, we've got general election. I'm sorry to all our overseas viewers, but in the UK, yes, they've announced a general election. Are we going to vote for Richie Snacks? Now, Richie Snacks this week. Richie Snacks, in a last-ditch effort to try and, I don't know, entice the hard right, he decided to reintroduce national service. So if the Conservatives get back in power, they're going to reintroduce national service. Now, I can remember as a kid myself and learning that other countries, I remember Greece at the time, had national service, and thinking how terrifying that would have been. As soon as you get to 18, you're in the army. Well, yeah, Conservatives want to bring that back. Now, I don't usually talk about politics on the show, but isn't that just a bit? Come on. Multi-billionaire Richie Snacks thinks, yeah, let's send all the young people into the army. Firstly, they're saying this is good for the army. Yeah, we need more soldiers, yeah, ready for like when the nuclear bombs come. I don't think warfare is necessarily going to be fought by people on the ground, is it? It's going to be fought by robots, computer programmers, taking down nuclear power stations remotely from countries miles away. I don't think, you know, having a whole nation trained as soldiers is necessary anymore. But mainly, he has alienated anybody who's 18 is not going to vote to be put into the army, are they? So he's got rid of all them young people. They're not going to vote now. They're not going to vote Conservative. And then, what about all the mums and dads? Because I wouldn't want to send my kids to the army. And then, what about the grandparents? The grandparents think, I don't want my son, my grandson, my granddaughter to have to go and join the army. National service is something from pre-war. Understandable in that climate. But what the heck is going on? You might as well have just held up the white flag and said, we're having a general election. Might as well not bother standing. I'm in love with an AI girl. She looks great from a distance. But please don't look at her fingers. As you may have seen from the thumbnail, we went on a bit of a road trip this week. Yeah, we went to Cardiff. I was going to take a lot of film of the trip and like build it up into a piece for the show. I didn't actually get that much done, but here's what I took on the camera on our little road trip to Cardiff this week. But yeah, I just thought I'd do a little film of it in situ. Stuff. Oh, no, I've not picked a thing up yet, Gareth. I'm being cheeky. So how does it feel losing, getting rid of all this stuff, Gareth? Do you mind being on camera at all?
I don't mind being on camera.
No?
No, I gathered too much stuff over the years, so I'm just glad it's going to have some use to somebody who will buy it.
Well,
from Retrogames.
Redistributed, that's it. And go to new people who love it. Unless I end up keeping most of it myself, obviously. That is a van full of stuff. Now let's unload it all. To be honest, I did not see much of Cardiff. I didn't really see the sights. I hadn't been to Cardiff before. I'm embarrassed to say that. I've been to Wales lots of times, but never Cardiff. Never been appealing for a holiday. Yeah, so I did. But I went to see my great friend, member of the Hardcore 44. You saw him, Gareth. Now, Gareth, he gets his own jingle, doesn't he, every time he comes on? Do you remember?
Then, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that Gareth. Yes, massive contributor to the old Retro Games show days. Founder member of the Hardcore 44. And it's kind of double-edged, isn't it? He's decided to downsize. He is still collecting. He assures me he's still going to collect, but on a much smaller scale. And it's kind of heartbreaking for me. It's a really, really tricky part of my business is when friends to the site and to the show and to the Retro Games business decide they want to set up and get out of collecting in a big way. Firstly, because we lose brilliant customers. I mean, Gareth is a super regular customer. He's been buying every 2 or 3 weeks for probably definitely over 10 years from us. And it's those kind of customers which keep the lights on. You know, he is like, yes, Gareth ordered, brilliant. We can have cheese for tea. So I will miss him for that, but I'll also miss him just because we share an affinity for the really old stuff. He collected 8-bit, you know, he's proper 8-bit, he's a computer enthusiast. He really appreciated obscure formats, tons of dragons. He's big up the dragon, of course. I love, that's the roots of retro gaming for me, and we share that. We're like brothers in arms, basically, me and Gareth. And I'm going to miss him. I hope he does really well, and I hope he still carries on watching the show. But at the same time, please don't feel bad when I hold things up and I'm talking about them and I haven't paid. You know, I'm making a profit, basically. I don't like you all knowing that we make a profit, but we have to make a profit, or I couldn't carry on going out and buying ridiculously massive collections like that. So yeah, and I hope, Gareth, you do something brilliant with the money. I hope you go to, I don't know, Tasmania, backpacking in Tasmania or something. Like, that's what I want to do, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, move on, Jace. Please, Mr. Postman, use some discretion, disguise what's being sent. 'Cause my wife has no idea how much I've spent.
That's the 5th bloody parcel this week, Gerald. We can't pay the mortgage.
Yes, now I asked you to do a survey again this week, and thank you to the 50 odd people who contributed to this week's survey. It was a bit random. You're thinking, Jace, this is not what Retrogames is about. You've basically given us a list of old 70s and 80s celebrities. Yes, I did. Okay, well, I can only have 4 options to do a picture poll like that on our community tab on the site. You can only pick 4. Don't worry, the top 10 is coming later. There will be top 10 things of Retrogames. That is still in the show. So I thought, well, I enjoyed this. So let's go through what the votes were. Now, your number one option was Bob Cheeky Monkey House. Bob Monkhouse, the legend that is Bob Monkhouse. Now, before I get stuck in, let's just say Bob Monkhouse, regular viewers might know, I bought Bob Monkhouse's games collection. Yeah! Bob, sadly, after he had died though, I bought it from his son-in-law. His son-in-law was sorting out the estate, and I got to buy his huge, exciting collection. Now, Bob, he was a bit of a, what's the word? He was a hoarder. He really did focus on the minutiae. He really liked to have complete sets. He's famous for recording TV on a non-stop basis from about 1975 to 1992, like all channels, and documenting on video cassette in a special shed in his garden every program that was on TV, and marked down. He would correct the radio times when they made mistakes on the scheduling. And funnily enough, the BBC managed to get some of that archive of Bob's stuff back, because he had stuff recorded that they had lost. They had lost all that stuff, and they got it all back, and the corrections on the radio times were very, very well, they're a point in time marked by our Bob. Now, I actually liked Bob Monkhouse when he was on TV. Let's just have a little bit of Bob.
On all our electrical goods, on the instructions it says attach wires to plug into the mains, and the best of luck. Oh. It's tap. Or send it back to Taiwan, I don't care.
Yeah, okay, a little bit offensive, but Bob's Full House did appear on 8-bit formats, and unlike so many of these quiz games, that is Bob Monkhouse talking in the corner, a classic 8-bit quiz game based on the cult TV show that wasn't very successful. Yeah, Bob, Anyway, get to the percentage, Jace. Bob Monkhouse, Bob Crazy Monkey House, how much percentage did he? I don't know if it's because he was at the top. Is it because he was at the top? 81%! Oh, that is big. That is big. 4 options and he got 81% of the vote. You guys all love the Monkhouse. He was a very funny, intelligent, brainy man. He did a fabulous, if you check out YouTube, I might try and put a link below, he did a fabulous interview, like a live interview, on stage in the year that he died, just before he died, and that was really quite moving, and it was lovely to see, and he still had it right up to the end. They made it, didn't he make a thing about prostate cancer? They used his image and they managed to make a video of him telling people to check their prostate, because that's what he died of, prostate cancer. So yeah, love you, Bob. Moving on, next in the list, and the next in the list is the one, the only, the Stalk SB, the Leslie Crowther. Now, Leslie Crowther. I would say Leslie Crowther is the most talentless of this list. And I know what you're thinking, what's the relevance to video games, Jace? We're coming. Leslie Crowther, what talent did he have? Was he funny? No. Was he annoying? Yes. Did he have a droney, horrible voice? Yes. I mean, he's a bit, we've got an equivalent. Michael McIntyre is a bit like him, isn't he? He's a bit like him, but at least Michael McIntyre has some funniness about him. He is funny. But Leslie Crowther never was. And of course we had Stars in Your Eyes was a big, that was his show first. but everyone remembers him for Come On Down, The Price Is Right in the UK. I know that's a big show in the US, and it was, you know, was it Walter Tite? I don't remember. It's someone different does it there. But we had Leslie Crowther, and he really... Let's just check a little bit of Leslie.
A barber by day, but tonight singing live, William Robertson is Jason Donovan.
Now, they did make a Price is Right video game, but because it's an American version, it has nothing to do with Leslie Crowther. Isn't that sad? Okay, thanks Leslie. Now, I know you want to know how much percentage did Leslie Crowther get. Well, Leslie Crowther only got 7%. Ooh, not much for dear long lost Leslie, but I kind of agree with you. Okay, third on the list. There's only 4. Don't fast forward. Ted Rogers! Yeah, I love Ted Rogers. I have a Ted Rogers mug. I have Ted Rogers memorabilia. He is originally a comedian. He was part of the 1970s comedian show. It was just basically a sketch show with people doing comedy. And then he got to do the epic 3, 2, 1 with his mate Dusty Bin. Let's just have a little look at Ted Rogers.
As in, you're working every night. You never see it when it goes out.
No, thank heavens for video.
Oh, sure. So therefore, you know, you've got to play it back and you never see it at the right time. I mean, I watch The Sky Night in the morning and Good Morning Britain at night. Open University when it's closed and Play Away when it's gone. The late breakfast show early next morning. Hello, hello, and everybody said goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another series of 3, 2, 1. Yes, we're here with a new series in a new year. And if you think I'm going to try and do 1981 on my fingers, you can forget that for a start. But it's nice to be back. We're with you, in fact, for 14 weeks, folks, yes. And you must know by now my favourite figures are 3, 2, 1. We've got for you some familiar figures, our residents, some figures...
Nice one, Ted, but just have a look at that girl's hair behind his head. You don't get styles like that anymore.
Remember that, from figurines to things worth over 4 figures. But I want you to meet 3 people with delightful figures, our new hostesses.
Thanks, Ted. And on the Spectrum, we did get a 3, 2, 1 quiz game. Sadly, Ted Rogers doesn't appear in digitised form, and it's actually a very dreary quiz game. If you hated PS2 buzz games, you're not going to like this one. Ted Rogers, yeah, and here is Dusty Bin. Now, something from my own collection. I'm going to put it on the big camera. This is Dusty Bin, and this is a genuine prize from the show. Jace, where did you get that? Oh my God, his lid comes off and I can show you. There it is on the bottom. Lustre pottery for Yorkshire Television, 1987. This is a genuine on-screen Dusty Bin. This is what you won for losing. You'd get your Dusty Bin to take home. I think you got one if you're winning as well. Yeah, I know. Ridiculous. How much did he cost? That's what you want to know. Look, I'm going to put it on the screen because I'm not saying it out loud. Don't let my wife know! Nando's, we love Nando's. Lots of chicken for us. So how much percent for Ted Rogers? He got 9%. 9%. There's not much percent left, is there, for our last contender? And our last contender is the one, the only. I can't believe this happened. I can't. Shaw Taylor, the greatest celebrity of the 70s and 80s, by far the greatest presenter of modern times. He can patronise you with a simple look into camera. He makes you feel worthless. He's incredible. I have watched so much Shaw Taylor. Because I just can't believe this guy. He did not get the breaks. He didn't get the big shows. He's famous for Police 5, but he's more famous for a certain bridge show which we show every year. I mean, Christmas was full of the Bridge Ladies and Shaw Taylor. And I thought, well, obviously, fans of the show are going to understand why I put Shaw Taylor at the bottom of the list. And they're all going to go crazy for Shaw Taylor. And this is going to be a big, massive celebration for the legend that is Shaw Taylor. But you've completely all lost the plot and you obviously don't watch this show at all. Shaw Taylor, he's pretty much the mascot for this show. If I could have a cuddly toy of Shaw Taylor, I'd be sending them all out to the Hardcore 44. Let's just have a little bit about Shaw Taylor. Yes, Shaw Taylor's big show was this, Police 5. It ran all the way to 1992. Not sure anybody was watching it then, but just look at his style.
Good evening. A very busy service station on the A35 on the outskirts of Southampton.
I think it's the air of confidence that Shaw has when he's talking about kind of everyday crimes, not the sort of major crimes you see on Crime Watch, but more, you know, thefts and robberies.
Which they had a bit of a problem with because it only had about 1.5 gallons of petrol in it and they wouldn't get very far before it stopped.
And he really gets down to the nitty-gritty of investigations. He's just a class act.
4 Post Hill at Shirley. But these, the specs he was wearing, plain glass, but quite expensive frames, from Specsavers. That's what he looked like wearing the glasses. Long hair, probably in his 20s, medium height. But if they're plain glass, perhaps we'd better take them off. Now, can you put a name to that face?
Noel Gallagher. I mean, the Bridge Ladies are disgusted with you. 2%! 2%! That is all he got. 2%. Sure, I know you're not, and maybe you are watching this. Maybe you can tune in from heaven and you still get YouTube up there. Maybe you do. And if you do, I absolutely appreciate wholeheartedly your greatness as a presenter. So charismatic, so natural, like the dad we all wanted. He's absolute. I want to hug the guy. I want to kiss him. I want him to tuck me in and read me a story. And the Bridge Ladies, come on, the Bridge Ladies. They hung out with him. They did that show for free. They just want to hang out with Shaw Taylor. He was a god. He was a god between the sheets. What can I say? Is there anything more I can say about Shaw Taylor? My name's Shaw, and I love bridge. My name's Shaw, and I love bridge. My name's Shaw.
Well,
and I love bridge. My name's Shaw, and I love bridge.
What will you show us?
Look, you wanted more chat, alright? You wanted more chat? This is me having more chat. You voted for this. Okay, shall we get down to the roots, down to the potatoes? Let's get to this week's top 10. What's number 10? Now this game is in the top 10 because I accidentally bought it back in the day. Star Goose, it was quite a big hit. It's got a beautiful box. The instructions double up as a poster. But then when you go to play the game, yeah, what a ropey tunnel shooter. This is on the Amiga. Hard to believe, isn't it? I just don't like the contrast of the blue and the orange. It looks clumsy. But not nearly as bad as the top-down sections. It's got that horrible trait that I hate the most. No sound effects, just music. Oh, it feels hollow. What's number 9? Now, this brings back some memories, doesn't it? This is a fast one. I know, it's hard to believe this is a racing game. It looks like you're avoiding ants on a path. It's not like Pole Position, it's Enduro, the classic Activision attempt at beating Atari at Pole Position. A little bit of a sticker mark, but still a lovely game to add to your Atari collection. What's number 8? Yes, Flink, this is a Persegonis game. We had a Psygnosis game this week. It's a classic platformer, highly regarded and hard to find for the Mega Drive, and it's easy to see why. Look at the beautiful graphics. This is a shot in the arm for Psygnosis, isn't it? This just proves they did make amazing games. This looks fantastic. Brilliant atmosphere, brilliant graphics. I want to play it some more.
number 7.
And I'm going to show you this one in person. This is a joystick. It's called the Volt Mace Delta. I'll show you the box there. It looks like this. And you're thinking, oh, I've seen one of them. Never sure what machine it's for. Well, that's because primarily they are for the BBC. BBC has a different kind of joystick. Now, let me just pull this out and let you have a look. The Volt Mace. Look at that. It's quite a beautiful thing. Now, you know, people go on about the N64. Oh yeah, analog joysticks, or Vectrex analog joysticks. Come on, you know, the Vectrex and this prove that analog was there right at the beginning. We forgot about those old Pong machines. Loads had analog sticks, analog twisters. Analog disappeared. We all went digital with the Mega Drive and the SNES. But they made a big thing. Oh yeah, analog. We're so revolutionary, Nintendo, with the N64. But no, analog was part of gaming from its very beginnings. And look at this stick. It's got a beautiful, look, you can go full circle, proper analog stick. 3 buttons, standard joystick, Atari joystick socket. But let me read to you from the box, because this is really strange. It is not just compatible with BBC. It says it is compatible with BBC and Master. It is compatible with Atari, Commodore, Master Compact, analog joysticks for Commodore, compatible with PC, also compatible with the Commodore Amiga. Now I'm thinking a Commodore Amiga wasn't analog, but then there's a little caveat to that. There's a little thing. For Commodore Amiga programs which have an analog subroutine. Do we know any games that had an analog subroutine for Amiga? Send in your answers if you do.
What's number 6?
Come on then, let's have a guessing game. Can you guess what format this is for? You know, it looks like a pretty standard shooter, but listen to that music. That sounds pretty good. Now, I would be thinking, it's a bit MSX-like. One of those Yamaha chips built into the cartridge or something. It looks old, and then when you get to this section, look at the scrolling at the bottom, you're thinking, it could be a ColecoVision. Yeah, it looks basic, it looks simple, it's a fun shooter, but I'll put you out of your misery. It's for PC. That is a PC running that thing. It's a very rare game. It is the sequel to Thexter, which was a massive hit in Japan for the MSX.
What's number 5?
Ikari Warriors, it's been on so many formats, but you have to keep reminding people, keep telling them, this is an SNK game, yes, by the people who brought you the Neo Geo and all those fighters. But then, I mean, it's got very tiny amount of real estate on screen there. It's a Commando-inspired top-down shooter. It's pretty simple. Look at that explosion, it won't go away. Oh, hang on, it's a tank. Yes, what a terrible graphic for a tank. It's a bit like a wandering portcullis. There's a rival tank, we take that tank out. It just goes to show, with the Atari, you have to use your imagination. That was a helicopter, that's another helicopter. It blew me up, but no explosion. Use your imagination.
What's number 4?
Really unusual, this one, from Hewson. Yes, a Z80 assembly machine code programming tool by Hewson. I don't remember them releasing anything else like this. This is on the Amstrad though, so maybe that means something.
What's number 3?
Carmageddon, yes, classic N64 and a beautiful box. It's a lovely example. Look at those flaps, beautiful spine. Check out inside, like new. What an amazing manual. But then there's the game. Oh, you've ruined this. It's glitchy. Yeah. It's hard to get excited about this game. Bring back hard driving.
What's number 2?
Number 2, and it is a super rare PC game from Starbite on 3.5-inch disc. We have covered a lot of rare adventures lately for PC, and it's another one. It's another adventure game, half role-playing game. You've got some arrow keys to make you think it's not all text-based, but it is primarily text-based. Pretty beautiful game, super rare. We've never had this in stock before. But can you invest the time in trying to complete it? It will take hours.
Here it comes, it's number one.
Okay, admittedly, we did not list very much on the site this week. So yeah, the top 10's a bit, but I've got number one here, number one. It was a bank holiday, so we lost the Monday, and then we was on a road trip all day on the next day, so yeah, you know, fine. Phoenix! Yeah, Phoenix for the Atari. I like to have a nice shooter in my number one slot. Hang on, did I just say I like someone shooting in my number one slot? That is not rude, kids! And there we go, it is Phoenix's original Phoenix Atari. It is sealed, it is new and sealed, but there is some damage to the cellophane at the rear. But at least you get to see. And it is the UK PAL, you've got all the different languages there, you've got Spanish there, Italian, French and German. So it is definitely the PAL version. There's a lot more sealed American ones of this particular game than there is from Europe. Yeah, but classic Phoenix. We'll just have a little look at Phoenix running, shall we?
Now, a lot of people poo-poo the Atari versions of classic coin-op games, but this version of Phoenix is blimmin' playable. It is decent. It's really fast. It does exactly what Phoenix does. Shooting the bottom of the UFO, you're trying to break that little blue band that spins across so you can take the alien. It's coming down to get you, but we're gonna get him. Gonna get him first. Yes, and he's dead. What a classic shooter.
Yeah, shoot those eggs. What a brilliant game to end the show on. Thank you for watching. There will definitely be more games, I think, on next week's show than this week. Or do we need them? Do we need them? Okay, I lied. Here it is, Pac-A-Maze. Look at the depth of that screen. This is actually from 1982 by a company called Hanzawa. They make quite a lot of games. I think it's this like, what's that other game? There's another game that's in this shape. Cosmic Invaders, is it? I think so. Let's see if we can get it to play. Reset, skill. There we go, some tunes. They're all very similar, aren't they, these Pac-Man? It's the same tune. Where? Oh, I didn't do very good, did I? I'm trying to do it on the camera. Go. Down. I should have got the pill, shouldn't I? Oh, I am useless. I admit it. But anyway, what a beautiful game, and it's not for sale. It's from my own collection. Leave it alone. What kind of crazy poll am I going to come up with next time? I have no idea, but I'm kind of enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy retrogaming, retro gamers.
My name's Shaw, and I love bridge. My name's Shaw, and I love bridge. My name's Shaw, and I love bridge. My name's Shaw, and I love bridge.
What will you show us?
My name's Shaw, and I love bridge.
And now, Amanda.
My name's Shaw, and I love bridge.
You're looking for a fit. How your hand will dovetail into your partner's so that the choice of suit or no trump will be the right one for the hand to be played in. Well done, father.
Oh, lucky old you.
Special goodbye from Uncle Jack Nunes and from me. Goodbye and good bridge. Bye-bye.